Hello and welcome to Behind the Plastic, a show where toy photographers interview toy photographers about toy photography. I'm Zach. With me, as always, my buddies Jay and Sully. Anybody want to say hello today, or do you have your mouths full? Yeah, thank you, Sully. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today. Wow. I can't believe I'm saying this. We have the greatest of all time on the show with us today. And I'm going to bring him in right now. Please, everybody, give a huge welcome for Sgt Bananas! Holy cow. I can't believe I just said that. That's insane. This is
the greatest of all time, so I don't know what I'm doing
here. You are the GOAT, my friend. You are the GOAT. You know how this works. We have 12 minutes. We're going to start now. As much as I don't want to start that clock because I want more time with you, we got to do it. Johnny, thank you so much for being on the show today. I mean, a million times thank you. It's a huge honor for us, and we're so incredibly excited to dig into your brain. For those of you viewers who don't know Sgt Bananas, which that might be impossible, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So on Instagram, I'm Sgt Bananas, and I like to do toy photography. Been doing it for around 10 years now, and yeah, I'm obsessed with collecting toys and taking photos of them. So that's the short version.
Obvious question, man. Obvious question. Where the heck does the name come from?
So the old school toy, the Sgt Bananas action figure from the old Playmates line. And just a real quick backstory, when I was making the account, I just wanted to name it after a character, like one of the toys, a character that I liked, and that one wasn't taken. So, I mean, I really like that toy, so that's why I chose it. But it's really just as simple as that.
So you could have been Leonardo.
I wouldn't have went there. If I was gonna do a turtle, I would have been Donatello or Donnie.
Yeah.
But I mean, just being Donnie, it seems a little weird to me. It's like, for sure it was taken though, right? Like that had to have been taken.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I kind of played around with like Mondo Gecko, but before I even checked, I was like, I'm just gonna do Sgt Bananas. So
awesome.
You have it.
So at that time when you started, were you like the first? Like everybody talks like they all look up to you as their inspiration. Like when they were starting out, they're like, "Oh, Sgt Bananas," or, and we had Sir Dork on here, and Sir Dork's like Sgt Bananas. I mean, everybody like, were you like the first and only, or very, very early?
No, actually. So when I discovered it, there were already, people have been doing it forever. Obviously, like through like toy companies and like marketing and stuff. It's been around, but I think like where we're at now in like modern day, like I would say those were the early days. So there were still people around. Some notable names were like Captain Chaos, Father's Figures, who's still active today. Like I saw one of his photos like before I even really tried it, and I remember he had like a figure suspended in the air. It was like jumping, and I was just like, I don't know what is this witchcraft? Like I couldn't even fathom how he was doing it. And shout out to him; he's an awesome dude. If you've never talked to him,
nice.
But yeah, it was, the community was not what it is now, for sure. So yeah, I guess
I was about to say, I could totally picture you in one of those white wigs, with the stockings and the Benjamin Franklin. You're just drafting the Constitution, man.
Yeah.
Photography Constitution.
The forefather of toy photography.
I mean, I had no idea what I was doing, why. I mean, well, I knew why I was doing it because it was fun, and that's remained the same over all this time. But I mean, I started off taking pictures with my phone, which, I encourage people to do because not everybody just has camera equipment lying around to do and start this. So like, use what you have, and have fun. That's literally the most important things that I can give advice. Like those are the two things.
Great advice. I grabbed. Okay, I have to tell you this. I scrolled all the way back through your IG profile, through all 3,263 photos. All amazing, by the way. And I wanted to see your first post. And you know what? I got it here for us to take a look at. Your very first post
on
Instagram.
And
Holy smokes!
I've never outdone that. So
It just boggles my mind that like that was, I mean, over 3,000 posts ago, almost 10 years ago. You know,
Yeah.
that is incredible. Tell us a little
That is
bit about this
incredible.
photo. Well, first of all, it sucks. Second of all, I wish I could tap back into what I literally, it was just like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, really, like at the core of it, that's what we're all trying to do. Like, take a picture that you think is cool. And at
Right.
the time, having no knowledge of anything or any of that stuff, I was like, this looks cool. So I think a few photos later is when you would see like I actually tried to like.
Does it happen to be this one?
Yeah. So I actually credit that as to my first toy photo because it was the first time I actually like tried to tell a story and like put effort into it. And
Amazing.
Nicely done, Zach.
Thank
So
you.
you know what?
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, this is the first time that he actually like set it up and try, tell
yeah,
a story.
yeah. It's
I like this one, and I like the first one too, especially for people who are starting out because they might not think their photos are so good. But like, if you keep at it, you can be as good as Sgt Bananas. You know.
Hey,
Well, I don't know about that, but you can. But
well,
you can
know,
get better.
10 years from now, maybe we'll
10
all
years
be as
from
good
now.
as-
Yeah, for sure.
That's well over 10,000 hours, I believe. Right?
Oh, it's
countless hours for sure. Yeah. I definitely put in the amount of time and effort, and like I have a obsessive personality, and it's focused on this. So yeah,
that's awesome. Well, let's take a look at one of your recent photos. See how far you've come.
sure.
Jay picked this masterpiece.
Oh my God, my how he's grown from the little
So, Johnny,
yeah,
please tell us a little bit about this masterpiece because there is so much I want to know about it. Mainly, I want to know how you got that light to do exactly what you wanted.
yeah. So this was during like when Last of Us was on TV, and like a lot of people, just being inspired by the show and stuff like that, and then just kind of like I want to do something, and just whatever pops into my head. It's usually like kind of not a specific scene necessarily, but just like a vibe or like a storyline, and so that was like the origin of the photo, and then I just kind of think of like, oh, how would I want it to look, and then I just try to make it look like that, and over time and trial and error, I could do that pretty well. Like I could have the picture in my head and just execute. I mean, not every time, but putting in the work. So yeah, the light rays back there, that was like definitely a priority. It was like, okay, I want to have that, have Joel in front, and then I want them to be like walking into a room that looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. And so, I got like a little bit of grass you could see there in the foreground, and like you can make out the color of the leaves, which is just, in my opinion, enough to kind of tell you the story that this room has been emptied out and overgrown already.
Yeah.
And then you got a couple other little props. You got like the little tank there leaning up against the doorway. And again, this stuff's like, I mean, that's more in focus because it's closer to the subject with Joel, but in front of that, in between the like grass, is like a couple like the hood of a car, which you can't really make out.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
You can see the highlight on it though. You can see like, but
right.
Yeah. So that's something that I do a lot, where it's like it may not be in focus or anything. You may not be able to like make it out completely, but it actually just still kind of adds to the story. So it's the whole thing. So it's like wherever the viewer goes, it's like they look at him, they look at they see the light first, because that's going to draw your eye. They see him, they see Ellie. I mean, this is how I'm imagining, and then then you really start to like look around, like what else is going on here, and that's what the other stuff is for. So,
how long does something like this set you up? To set this up, like how long does it take you to shoot? Roughly.
I mean, under an hour.
Okay.
You've just got it down, huh?
Not everything is like. I mean, sometimes honestly, it's faster. It depends really. You know how it is. It's like from shot to shot, it just varies. So much varies, and like it's completely different. So
Definitely.
I might have had these dials on the table already, so it was kind of easy to just because it's two separate pieces.
I was going to ask, do you have a whole room dedicated to just dios? Because I'm sure you have a whole room dedicated to just toys.
It's like right behind you.
All encompassing room here, so or garage. So like the cabinets back there, those are just filled with dioramas. So if I open those, it's just like dial, and there's dials over here. There's literally dial there. There's a dial there. There's toys.
Guys, it's like Benjamin Franklin's house. Like they're gonna charge tickets to go see this stuff.
I mean,
dude,
it's funny because it's like, I mean, you can see some dials back there, I guess, on that table. There's two just sitting right there. So I'm constantly just looking at stuff while I'm working or whatever. If I'm editing photos or something on the computer, and there's toys everywhere. So, I do get a lot of ideas just from like, I'm staring at a figure for like 8 hours out of the day, or I'm just like keep looking at it, and then eventually something clicks, and it's like, oh, maybe I should try and do this.
Something does click. Isn't it hot, Zach?
That's right. It is time for the hot seat. All right, Johnny. If you could shoot only one IP for the rest of your career, what would it be?
TMNT.
Correct choice.
It's where it started, and that's where we would end. If I had to be.
Awesome.
Proper way to peel a banana.
I do this. I mean, I don't only like monkeys and stuff do it from the bottom.
They do.
Yeah. So like I'm not a monkey. So I pull the stem. Yeah.
What is your favorite way to eat a banana? Like in a dessert, straight banana? Do you toast it, saute it? Do you dip it in chocolate?
Just straight up, just
straight up banana.
Usually. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Are you sick of bananas? Have people over banana you?
No, but now since you're asking that, one thing, two things. One, some people think that I was actually like I served in the military because the SGT part, which I did not. Second thing is people like sometimes refer to me as bananas, and I don't necessarily like that. But to me, I'm just Johnny. I understand no one, not everyone knows me by the first name, but like if you get to talking to me and you're watching this, just go ahead.
All right, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited should we be about the 2003 Super 7 Ninja Turtle line? Hurry!
Super excited.
Super excited. Thanks for coming on. That's all the time.